Hi, I'm Shane O'Neill.
And I'm Daniel Mulholland. Welcome to this edition of JVTV News.
What are you doing?
Have you ever wanted to be in a beauty pageant? I do.
For guys, I don't think we have that.
Well, Jersey Village High School does. Elizabeth Wells shares more.
Mr. Falcon is a contest held every year at Jersey Village to raise funds for Project Prom. It's a light-hearted male beauty pageant where the senior class and JVHS alumni make up the judging panel. During Mr. Falcon, contestants are judged in the categories of beachwear, talent, and formal wear. The scores are combined to determine a winner. This year, talent included everything from singing and dancing to synchronized swimming.
Abracadabra.
My favorite part was the talent when I got to sing with Connor. He's an awesome musician, and I'm just glad he was my partner, and it was a blast. It was so much fun.
This annual event is one of the most popular JVHS traditions, and the 2013 Mr. Falcon was no exception. This year, Kyle Falke was named Mr. Falcon 2013, while Julian Mateo claimed second and Connor Knight came in third. Elizabeth Wells, JVTV News.
Not all of our students here are from the U.S. In fact, several of them traveled overseas to spend their year at Jersey Village High School. Mohammed Khan tells us more about our foreign exchange students.
There are many different types of programs that foreign exchange students can do, from Rotary to CCI. Students' experiences may vary, however, they always get those dumb questions.
I'm Luisa, I'm from Brazil, and I do not live in the rainforest. Sarah Henriksen, I live in Sweden, and we ride on polar bears.
My name is Sara Apel, and I'm from Finland, and we do not have polar bears there.
Before the students come, they have their own image of what to expect. But when they get here, that's when things change.
Well, since I came to Texas, I expected cowboys and horses and a lot of open spaces, but yeah.
After leaving their home countries, these students don't have to leave their dreams and ambitions back at home. They can study them here.
Well, I dance with the Gold Dusters right now, and I dance outside of school, contemporary, jazz.
Sadly, at the end of the school year, these students will have to return home, but mainly will not lose the friendships they have made here.
What I miss the most? I miss the food, and of course the people that I met here, because I don't know when I will see them again, so I'll miss them a lot.
For now, they have to say goodbye.
Ciao. Hej då.
Moikka.
Bye.
But goodbyes aren't forever. Mohammed Khan, JVTV News.
Do you remember the fun we had at SDN?
Of course I do. More than half of JVTV went to compete against about 2,000 students from all over the nation.
Ray Contreras shares the excitement.
This year, the Student Television Network convention was held in Los Angeles, California. JVTV was a part of the contest that involved schools from all over the nation once again. JVTV went into numerous contests, including the Sweet 16 film, a contest where students are given a prompt and a prop and have 16 hours to film and edit, which Triton Went and the director Trevor Hargis participated in.
Hello, kind sir. I'm the traveling salesman.
The STN convention consisted of activities and events, including the opening ceremony and professional sessions. Different schools competed in a variety of contest categories, such as the music video, PSA, convention recap, and including the 60-second silent film, in which the JVTV president Shane O'Neill, who attended all 4 years at STN, brought home the Honorable Mention Award in this category.
God, it was a long time coming, I guess, because this was my 4th year at STN, so I've done it freshman, sophomore, and junior, and finally senior year, and I had never won anything those first 3 years, so it was just kind of very, very satisfying to I was running the race, and then I finally reached the finish line by finally winning something, so I guess it's just very satisfying to finally win something when it's my, sadly, last STN.
The STN convention was an unforgettable experience this year, and will be once again next year in Orlando, Florida. Ray Contreras, JVTV News.
Who doesn't love a chili supper? Add the Jersey Village Falcon band to the mix, and it makes a perfect combo. Lathan Washington tells us more.
Every year, the band hosts a chili supper with food, music, and more food in order to raise money. Between the band car wash and Blitz Night, the band chili supper is the most important fundraiser for the band, with the most of the money going towards directly to the band. While to some, the chili supper may seem business, as usual it is anything but business. With the new head band director, Brett Nelson, running the show, all eyes were on him to make sure the show went off without a hitch. Being the biggest fundraiser of the year, the band received the largest amount of money from this event. This year, the band made a total of $15,000, which is a great amount for the band. So next year, when you're looking for a great dinner and great entertainment, check out the band's chili supper. Lathan Washington, JVTV News.
Not every first-year robotics team can proudly say they got top rookie team, but ours sure did. Joy Travis has more on how they all got started.
For every high school, there's always that one club that sticks out above the rest. For Jersey Village, it's a robotics club. But what exactly makes it so much more unique than the others?
It's really cool to work with everyone. Like, it's a very teamwork aspect type thing to do. And it's really cool to meet new people. Like, I didn't know anybody on this team except for like one person. So I met a bunch of new people, made a bunch of new friends, and it's just a great way to get yourself out there.
The Robotics Club was created by Robert and his dad, who've been wanting to do this ever since Robert was 7 years old.
I've been wanting to do this for about 4 or 5 years, and to be able to actually have a team at Jersey Village just means a lot to me. I'm really excited about that.
Looking forward to seeing what the Robotics Club has to bring next year. This is Joy Travis with JVTV News.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, it's my history book. We have to read 3 chapters.
You don't seem very excited.
I'm not. Sometimes I feel like history is nothing but stories and lectures about dead guys.
Well, do we have a solution for you? Hunter Meershin tells us more about history through film.
History is seeing the past through the eyes of today, a way of explaining of what really happened. And one class here at JV is combining both visual and historical aspects.
For most students here at JV, history is seen as a repetitive, tedious class and don't take it seriously. But this new class, the students can have a better and more interesting way of learning history. Ms. Martison, the teacher and organizer of this course, explains the overall goals of this newly found class.
One, hopefully to instill a passion for history that I have. I want students to be able to analyze films, to critique them, not only on historical accuracy, but also in bias, the way that they're presented, and point of view of the film is really my main goals.
While in the semester class, students will observe and review diverse genres in history movies. They will use previously learned skills to have a better understanding of the elements of film. Robin Hood, Pearl Harbor, and Forrest Gump are only some of the movies that will be shown.
First, I love videos, and I love history, so what better way than to put the two together so that I can teach a class that combines my 2 passions.
So if you're a visual learner and love history, then History Through Film is a class for you. Hunter Meershin, JVTV News.
We'll be back with what's become an annual event here at JV. But first, here's a public service announcement by James Owens and Claire Weinman.
Can I have a pencil?
No.
Can I have a pencil?
No. No, 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 no.
Where am I? Do you have a pencil?
No, can't have it.
Why?
No, no, no.
You know, I'm really glad the Fine Arts Festival is back this year.
Yeah, it's a fun event that shows off the diversity and talent of our school. Shane O'Neill shares the excitement.
made up my mind when I was a young girl.
Over spring break, our speech and debate team competed in the annual TFA state tournament. From poetry to politics, Jamie Munn has more.
The Jersey Village speech and debate team ranked highly among top CFISD schools. As an award-winning team taking sweepstakes at multiple local tournaments, we're indeed qualified for the TFA tournament. The TFA tournament is the biggest debate tournament in the state of Texas throughout the entire year and holds prestigious honor to attend. The tournament was located at South Grand Prairie High School on March 7th through the 9th, prior to spring break. With over 1,000 qualified entries in 14 different events, this tournament proves to be the largest tournament held in the South. But too, it is the toughest. We take in 8 participants, all of which share the common idea that we learn a lot from this remarkable experience.
I had a lot of fun. We bonded as a team. I learned a lot about just the events in general, my events, and I gained a renewed passion for speech and debate. I really learned about how much other people care about it. Like really, a lot of people took it very seriously, and it showed in their results. Like they qualified for state, and they did really well at it at the same time. It's pretty difficult, but if you really show that effort, show that drive to succeed, then you can do well. Well, I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to start writing my oratory gradually for next year. I'm going to keep up with the news, so I'm prepared for my current events.
And with the end of the season, the debaters are back to writing speech outlines for the next year to come. Jamie Munn, JVTV News.
Hey Shane, have you seen all the trash that's left after lunch?
Yeah, I see it in the hallways, the stairwells, pretty much everywhere.
Well, it's a good thing the custodians are here to save the day. Andrew Cordova tells us more.
At the scene after lunch, tables and floors are blanketed with trash, but thanks to our custodians, our school stays nice and clean.
Right after lunch, like a hog haven. It's a pretty big mess,
It's a mess. Kids leave too much trash on the floor. They leave it on the table.
But anytime they eat a bag of chips, just throw them on the floor.
I'm not very pleased with the way it looks at the end of lunch.
They're always needed 24/7, and I don't think that the students as well as the staff understand how well or how much we need the custodians.
I describe it as a job that has to be done and somebody has to do it.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Almost everyone here at Jersey Village High School knows who cleans up after their mess, but how many of them actually appreciate the work that they do?
I love our custodians because we have hosted 3 different debate tournaments this year, and they are always so helpful for us.
It's awesome. Yeah. Thank goodness for Miss Cheryl and her crew.
You know, I have relationships with them, and I'm thankful for them.
If I ask them, hey, we need a dolly, they were quick to run and go help us out. They set up the tables for us, and they always are really good about keeping everything clean while we're there.
Have it spick and span. It's ready to go for the next day. It's ready to go for any activities after school. They got the tables where they need to be. They got the floor scrubbed. They got the stairwell swept. Awesome. They do a great job.
I like to be able to look back on what I have done. If it's clean to me, then I feel and know that it's clean for them.
There's a lot of work that is done at JVHS every day, and most of the hardest work is done by our custodians. They show us that running a high school really does take a village. Andrew Cordova, JVTV News.
During the month of February, our Jersey Village students and staff gathered together to create an amazing performance in order to celebrate the past, present, and future of African Americans. Erlen Romero shares the story.
Who is she really? I probably... I'm back strong. But there is no
because he fashioned me in the likeness of him.
Monologues is by Christopher Thomas.
Take guilt out of shame.
And acts by Deontay Harris.
Stop giving us to injustice and stand up for our freedom.
So the work that has been done won't be in vain. I am the future.
I did enjoy it. It was a lot of work. I would like to get more kind of support as far as our community and family and just kind of everybody involved. So, but I feel like it went pretty well.
With the expansion of 290, the popular after-school fast food chains have shut their doors. But how has this affected the students here at JV? Matthew Bierwagen has the news.
Every day after school, students would visit fast food restaurants like this Jack in the Box to grab a quick afternoon bite to eat. But with the expansion of 290, these businesses have shut the doors to the public. The expansion would relieve the congestion during rush hour. It is at the price of precious business for the high school community.
I'm also upset that they got rid of my favorite restaurants that are close by, so now that inconveniences me.
But the congestion relieved by the expansion would bring more valuable business and less traffic.
I also believe that it was a good thing for them to expand the highway. Have you ever been on 290 after Falcon?
No, I have not.
It is a parking lot. Do you know what that means? That means
Yes.
you are stuck and you are not moving. That's a problem.
With the way things are progressing now, the expansion of 290 will continue on and bring more statewide gains at the cost of local losses. Matthew Bierwagen, JVTV News.
We'll be back with a story about a competition that's held at JV every year, but first here's a public service announcement by Louisa Vezem and Miranda Cuellar.
Battle of the Falcons this year?
No, but I know it was a tough competition, and it was hard to pick from all the talented students here at JVHS.
Victoria Rojas gives us an inside look at this year's Battle of the Falcons.
Battle of the Falcons is a talent show put on by Student Council. The contestant gets to decide what charity they will be donating to. Every act goes through an audition, which is judged by a group of studio members.
What we want to do is we want to give back to the troops because we know that since we're trying to be like stunt people, that they're the ones who really do all the hard work and all the real hand combat and all the training. So we really wanted to find something to do that. And what we found was a group where the money goes to moms who actually go and get like things like socks and food and other things that troops would need, and sends them over to places where they are fighting for us.
After taking weeks to prepare, the contestants participate in a dress rehearsal before the show. The rehearsal allows them to get the feel of performing on stage.
If you have a dream and you really enjoy acting on stage, do it, because it is so worth it in the end.
When it came time for the actual show, nerves were high and competition was fierce. Once the acts are over and the curtain comes down, the audience leaves the auditorium to vote for their favorite performance.
You get to buy one ticket, and with that ticket you're entitled to one vote. You get to vote for whichever act you think was the best. We have everything from singing to beatboxing. It's a really varied event.
By a landslide vote, the winner of this year's 2013 Battle of the Falcon was Drumline. Congratulations, Drumline.
The charity we chose is the Lupus Foundation of America. We chose this because there's someone really close to us that we know who has lupus, and so it was really good to get money to the charity.
We believe they received about $1,500.
So if you've got a special talent you'd want to show off, whether it be singing, beatboxing, or pumping up the crowd, you should stop by and audition for next year's Battle of the Falcons. Victoria Rojas, JVTV News.
Social media is a great way for teenagers to communicate. On the other hand, it can also be used to spread rumors and lies.
Debbie Broussard gives us the facts on cyberbullying.
Jersey Village students, as well as kids all over the world, have many rights, including freedom of speech. But is it all right to talk trash online, or better known as cyberbullying? Instead of face-to-face contact, cyberbullying takes place on electronic devices, including cell phones, computers, and social media. Examples include posting and sending embarrassing photos and videos, also starting rumors online.
At first, I didn't actually realize that it was about me.
But once I started reading through the posts, I was like shocked. And the worst thing about it, the next day when I went into class, everybody were giggling and like staring at me. I felt so out of place.
The major reason cyberbullying is worse than traditional bullying is media can be posted anonymously and distributed quickly to a wide audience. But how many kids are willing to come front and say that this has happened to me?
It was really hard, like having people message me on Facebook and just be like, your style is so horrible, you're not that pretty of a girl, you're so fat. Like, it's really hard.
www.bullyingstatistics.com statistics shows 88% of social media using teens say they've seen someone being mean or cruel to another person on a social networking site. 12% of these say they witness this kind of behavior frequently.
Anytime that you know that someone's being bullied, go to an AP, go to a counselor, because that person could be struggling they could be struggling with committing suicide.
Though it seems just harmless fun, it's the opposite. It could harm you or someone else in a different way. Debbie Broussard, JVTV News.
Weight is a big part of our lives, whether it's losing weight to fit in those old jeans or gaining weight to get into that weight class in wrestling. Keith the Hanks tells us why weight is so important.
Tried eating healthier and controlling my portion.
Another thing is not restricting yourself, but portion size. So just being aware of what a real portion size is and know that when you go out to eat, they're giving you like double, sometimes triple the portion size, so sometimes cutting in half. Okay, this is technically a myth, but there is a little bit of truth to that. The main thing is your calorie needs. Are you meeting those calorie needs? So if at night you have not ate anything all day and you're going to eat a little bit, but you're not meeting your calorie needs, you will still lose weight. But what also happens at night, you're less active, so you're not going to be burning as many calories as you would during the day.
We'll be back with more on the environment, but first, here's a public service announcement by AJ Gonzalez and Andrew Cordova.
Many teenagers have the ambition of becoming professional musicians, and Satellite Studios makes this possible. Triton Went tells us more.
Satellite Studios is a local recording studio run by J.R. Predis that allows local artists with a desire and passion to make music, putting them in the spotlight using a professional environment. Many different groups have worked with JR at Satellite Studios, ranging from rock bands to folk singers. And many local bands that work with JR have gone on to become successful acts around the Houston area.
I've worked with a lot of Dallas and Austin artists that they're also around here. Other bands that are pretty prominent around here, like the After Show, versus the Ascent, the Dead Revolt.
At the age of 6, JR started his musical journey when he was forced into taking piano lessons, and although he hated it at the time, the early experience he received paid off as he pursued musical studies in college.
I went to Trinity University in San Antonio for undergrad, majored in music composition, classical composition, and then for grad school I went to Rice and got my master's in music composition as well.
The music scene is always developing and changing, but for certain producers, this is not always in the best ways. This reflects in the music business as a whole, and causes many involved, including JR, to suffer as a result.
Unfortunately, I think it's kind of undeveloping from what it was maybe 7 to 10 years ago. because there's a lot of venues that have shut down. There's not as many bands playing because there's just not as many clubs that will accommodate, especially young bands. Like back in 2004 through 2006, 2007, there were a lot of clubs, not just for the drinking age and older crowd, but for the high school crowd.
Satellite Studios is able to put out professional sounding music into the hands of anyone. But this would not be possible without a man who has the talent and knowledge to work with the musicians in creating an amazing final project. After all, the producer makes the studio. Triton Went, JVTV News.
All around the world, people gather together in honor of Earth Day. Students and teachers at Jersey Village High School are finding new, fun ways to help the environment. Miranda Cuellar has more on this recycling frenzy.
Earth Day is quickly approaching, and here at JVHS, Mr. Higgins and Miss Uran are putting on a friendly competition to see who can collect the most recyclables.
Scarcity is an issue in economics. We have a growing population with unlimited wants and needs, and eventually resources are going to become an issue. Paper, deforestation, pollution, landfills, all of it needs to be kind of controlled so that we can have a decent earth for the rest of our lives and for our kids and whatnot.
And when one person gets involved, it's one big step to making one big change. These teachers want to help make a change in JVHS and our ways.
I learned that we need to take recycling more seriously, and it affects our plan and stuff, and every little bit counts.
Recycling is important, and maybe this will help students realize how much they can help the earth and still have fun doing it. Miranda Cuellar, JVTV.
We'll be back with Falcon Sports Center, but first, here's one of our most popular segments, JV Walking.
The JV boys varsity soccer team has been kicking off hard this season. Isabella Herrera tells us more. Falcon Sports Center starts now.
The Jersey Village boys varsity soccer team have been working hard this season to make it this far into the playoffs.
That's the best feeling ever, to make the playoffs, something that we haven't done since 2008. We have better team chemistry. The kids play as a team, not as individuals. They care more about the team than what the teams in the past have only cared about themselves.
I feel like we did a lot better as a team, as a whole team. Like, we communicate, we pass a lot better. I feel like our forwards have improved a lot. We score more goals.
Everybody else contributes more. We became more of a group.
Leaving the score of 2-1, leading them to play in their second district games against Seven Lakes and Cape.
We're gonna win. We're gonna try to go as deep as we can in the playoffs. And, everybody's dream is to go to state, so hopefully we get that.
I don't have an outstanding player. I have a bunch of great players that play as a team that's together. I could go through each one of them, tell what each one of them does, but that'd take forever. But as a team, they do their position, they play their position the way they're supposed to, and it makes the team better overall.
Isabella Herrera, JVTV News.
The sport of skateboarding has grown into a culture and a way of life to some at Jersey Village. Alan Jacques Orozco tells us what it means to be a skater.
For many, skateboarding is a passion filled with friends, tricks, and style.
I saw my friend with a skateboard. Yeah, I was asking if I could use it. He did. Yeah, I skated around. Down the street. Yeah, since then I couldn't stop. Yeah, I ended up like where I'm at right now.
But this culture has influenced many day-to-day lives. And some of these skaters are also students at Jersey Village High School.
It's like a double-edged sword. Basically, like, if I do one thing, it'll hurt me. Like, if I go to school and like stay after for like orchestra practice or something, it keeps me from like skating. I chose skating over school and stuff, but it just like counteracts each other.
And what does this mean for their future? A phase, a hobby, a waste, or a lifestyle?
Well, skateboarding means like everything to me. It made me who I am. And then I say like normal people, like, I don't know, it's just like weird, like, cause like I skate like all the time. Then I see like a normal people like going to a mall or something, like that sounds so boring. That's not my lifestyle.
Alan Orozco, JVTV News.
That's it for the final newscast of the school year. JVTV is on Facebook and YouTube. Check us out on the links below.
For Shane O'Neill and the entire JVTV News crew, I'm Daniel Mahan. Thanks for watching.